you know, they figure out, oh, I can pay the tuition, but now, oh my gosh, I forgot, you know, how am I going to cover the rest of the expenses as far as, you know, paying for a car, paying for insurance and things like that. So there are some times they run into expenses like that.
Should a family find that they're short in subsequent years, there are different options. Say if there's a financial aid that might have changed, so if their family contribution increased so that they lost some state aid or federal aid or maybe even institutional aid, there are other options. Often schools will offer a payment plan. We also have parent and student loans that can help students pay for their education. Sometimes we get notified of outside scholarships, and so we would have those resources available in our office as well that can help reduce that out-of-pocket expense. Obviously, loans is something that a lot of families are concerned about, so we always encourage families and students to keep their borrowing to a minimum, but they usually are there as a resource to help.
So I would just encourage students, don't just limit yourself, or don't just rely, is probably a much better word, on the scholarships that are offered by the institution you're looking at attending. Go out and seek those opportunities for outside scholarships, especially the small ones, the small community ones that are like $500 or $1,000. You might have to write an essay, but heck, writing an essay could be the difference between $500, $1,000, $2,000. And oftentimes the competition for those aren't as large as the competition for those national scholarships.
We make it clear that we're an alternative. You know, when it comes to financing your college education, you know, you always want to seek out your federal student loans first. I mean, we always tell students and parents that.
It is extremely important for students to be knowledgeable, be mindful of information that comes from financial aid, because financial aid is attached to so many other things. Registration has there's a relationship where we're all connected. The cashier's office, we're all connected. So if a student is missing notifications, for example, to complete the process to get their loans, that money doesn't credit to their student account. Then when it comes time to register, they find themselves with the balance. And in some instances, it could be $7,000 or $8,000. At this point in time, the students panic because they can't register for classes for the next semester.
If students and their families have questions to why an award has changed from year to year, they want to contact their financial aid counselor. They'll be able to review last year's application, look at this year's application, and compare the two and see what might have changed, but also ask those questions. Well, if we saw a big increase in income from one year to the next that might have had an impact where a student has lost eligibility, we would then be able to say, well, I see there's a big difference in your income. What has caused such a big difference? Was it a one-time distribution? Did you get a bonus one year that obviously is not going to be replicated in future years? We might be able to take that into consideration and reevaluate the financial aid award so that it can be more consistent from year to year.
Don't be afraid to lean on the folks that can help you, you know, and provide information to make a good informed decision. And you're not alone. You know, there are utilize the resources that you have.